Okay, so conspiracy theory is our vocabulary topic for today. And a conspiracy is where more than one person, so at least two, in secret, they agree to commit a crime. And so, of course, conspiracies happen all the time. Julius Caesar was killed due to a conspiracy. Abraham Lincoln was killed due to a conspiracy. And many, many other crimes have taken place in secret by a group of people. But if you read the media, you might start to think that conspiracy theories are ridiculous, that they are far-fetched. They're unlikely to be true. They're extremely unrealistic. Well, I'm here to tell you that that's absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, when somebody hatches an evil plot, they come up with some kind of evil plan, perhaps a plan to kill the president, something like that, or perhaps a plan to inject everybody with some kind of chemical which will make somebody a lot of money, something like that. You know, that would certainly be hatching an evil plan, a cunning plot. And so this word plot, which does mean the story in a book or a film, is very often used for like an evil plan. And when we use it like that, we often use the verb hatch, to hatch a cunning plot, to hatch an evil plan. And it means to create an evil plan, a cunning plot, okay? And in any book or film, the plot will get more complicated in places. And when the plot gets more complex, you can say the plot thickens. And of course, this very often happens in conspiracies. You find out more and more information and the plot gets more and more complex. And you can say, yeah, the plot thickens. Things are becoming more interesting or more complicated in some kind of way. And this noun, a plot, can be used with a 2+ infinitive, just like conspiracy and just like plan. A plan to do something, a plot to do something, a conspiracy to do something. So you can talk about a plot to oust the Prime Minister, and that would mean to get rid of the Prime Minister, to push him out. When you oust somebody, you get rid of them. You could oust the president, oust the prime minister, oust the manager of the company, I suppose, as well, the CEO. But you could also say overthrow or topple. A plot to overthrow the government. A plot to topple the dictator. Yeah, a conspiracy to assassinate the dictator or the guy in charge, yeah, or the president, the prime minister, or to assassinate a group of people, something like that. Assassinate means kill, but it's when you kill someone political. Usually it's an assassination, when it's a political killing, okay? So yeah, a plot to oust somebody, get rid of them. To overthrow somebody, yeah, there might have been a conspiracy to overthrow Saddam Hussein, whatever, something like that, a person who's in charge. Okay, and so you can use these words with 2+ infinitives. Now, when we're talking about the people that are in charge of the conspiracy, I think in a lot of conspiracy websites, you'll hear them called the evildoers, because they are people who commit evil acts. You might hear this word, the Illuminati, and this means the people right at the top, the elites, and they're the ones who control everything. They're the ones who are in charge of everything. I don't believe in the Illuminati. I think that that's for gullible people, those kind of ideas about Illuminati or that kind of thing. But you will often hear them mentioned, and it's supposed to be the group at the top who commit the conspiracies. Okay, the elites are simply the richest or the most privileged members of society. So anyone who is a billionaire will certainly be one of the elites. Elon Musk, yeah, is one of the elites, certainly. But is he a reptile? Is he an interdimensional shape-shifting lizard? Now, very often on these conspiracy websites like Alex Jones in the United States or David Icke in the UK, you'll hear this idea that the people who are committing the conspiracies are perhaps lizards and not human beings, that perhaps they're from another planet, they're aliens, and sometimes you'll even hear that they're from another dimension, they're interdimensional shape-shifting lizards. Now, of course, these ideas are there to make you think that all conspiracies are far-fetched. And by far-fetched, I mean unlikely to be true. They are unrealistic. Yeah, I would argue that David Icke, who used to work for the BBC, and Alex Jones are obviously, and that's the American guy who runs the conspiracy websites, they're obviously shills, plants, stooges. And what I mean is that somebody, probably the security services, pays them to promote these ridiculous ideas about conspiracies. Somebody pays them to promote the idea of reptoids, reptilians, Illuminati, Anunnaki, or whatever you want to call them. Someone pays them to promote these ideas, and really they make a lot of money out of these ideas anyway, so they are paid by us to promote these ideas, although I strongly suspect that it's not just us, that other people also pay them to promote certain ridiculous conspiracy theories, so that you don't think that conspiracy theories are ever real. I reckon that that's what's going on. And so, coming on to the next one, the government might try to cover something up. Yeah, so if the government are carrying out some kind of evil, if the government have hatched an evil plot to keep something secret from you, well, they will try to cover up the truth. And of course, cover up means hide, disguise the truth. And so you can use this as a noun as well. You might say that perhaps there was some kind of assassination, perhaps maybe a president was assassinated, and the truth behind the assassination was covered up. Yeah, it was a cover-up, and that would, maybe the media helped to cover something up. Maybe the media helped the government by censoring what people were saying. But perhaps it's what people were saying in the newspapers, but perhaps it's online, and they censor what you say, and in that way they cover up the truth. Yeah, my own channel has been censored many times on YouTube, and I'm just an English teacher. And so I know that censorship happens, and I know that YouTube are trying to cover up lots of different things. And they do it by keeping us silent. Yeah, they do it by not allowing us to say what we want to say. Okay, so that would be a cover-up. It goes on all the time. You know, Google censors all